Hello and welcome to the Federal. The polling for 2024 general elections is over and we are all waiting for the results now. Today we talk to Dr. Amit Dholakia, political science professor at the Maharaja Sayajirao University in Baroda, to discuss the exit poll predictions. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Dholakia.
Welcome, my pleasure.
So my first question is, most of the exit polls are suggesting a clear win for BJP and the NDA alliance crossing 350 seats nationally. Are you surprised or you expected this kind of possible results?
We were all waiting for this day for last 1.5 months. That is the 1st of June for the seventh phase of the Lok Sabha elections to get over and the exit polls to be declared by the various media organizations. Yes, since 6 p.m. in the evening, various news channels and the newspapers have been coming out with figures predicting the likely seats for BJP and the NDA alliance, and also for the India alliance, and the third category called the others. During the last 7 phases, it has been like a roller coaster for all political parties and also for the political observers. Because when the election started, uh, it was perceived to be a one-sided affair where NDA, BJP, Modi will have a clear sway over the opposition, which did not seem to have gathered its own house in order, or which did not seem to have come out with a very convincing narrative. But after the first phase, as subsequent phases rolled out, we noticed that somehow NDA and BJP were put on the defensive and opposition had gathered a lot of steam. Its campaign was touching the minds and hearts of the people. And there was also a visible display of popular support. We could see that in the rallies of the opposition leaders. We could see that also in the social media sphere, the number of views and all that. So today's results, exit poll predictions, I would say, not results, exit poll predictions, most of them give more seats to the NDA than what they could win last time in 2019. Certainly, there is an element of surprise that is attached to it. Because everybody thought that because of the opposition's efforts to mobilize an opinion, mobilize people's perceptions around other issues, possibly the number of seats that NDA would win would reduce. Everybody thought that NDA will make a government, but it was seen to be a very close contest, something where the difference of seats would be in the range of 15 to 20 seats. Now, if these exit poll results are correct or are to be believed, I mean, it's really a very uneven kind of picture. And there is an element of surprise because all the popular support that was visible on ground for the India alliance, whether in Bihar or in UP or in several other states of India, somehow it's not getting converted into seats. But as I said, exit polls have their own risks, and the real picture would be clear only on 4th of June. Over to you, Mr. Verma.
So at the beginning of the national elections, there was discussion about impact of unemployment and price rise. But the exit polls indicate that people have their concerns, but eventually they trust Prime Minister Modi to end these challenges. What is your opinion?
Absolutely true. As I mentioned, once the election campaign started, issues of Hindutva, Ram Mandir, cultural nationalism, all of that receded in the background, and socio-economic issues centering around unemployment, caste census, reservation, inclusive policies of the government, participation of marginalized sections like SC, ST, SCBC, and minorities in the political process and in the public policy, welfare distribution. All of them became the central issues of campaign, and somehow it got the traction also with the youth. Particularly the young voters seem to be getting attracted to the opposition's promises with respect to employment, particularly government employment that was promised by the India Alliance. Now, as you said and rightly said, it seems that even as people might have accepted the reality of the existence of widespread unemployment, particularly among the educated youth in India, even as people might be experiencing the difficulties of steep price rise of essential commodities, somehow the trust, the faith that they have on Prime Minister's leadership, if the exit poll results are true, is unshaken. It is not so much because of BJP, it is only because of Prime Minister Narendra Modi that all the inclement issues, all the negativities that the BJP faced in this election is getting offset because Prime Minister's credibility, popularity, trustworthiness with India's masses is very high, and even earlier opinion polls have again and again uh, given us an evidence of it. Enjoying nearly 65 to 60% of popularity for any political leader after 10 years of rule is no mean achievement. So he is seen to be incorruptible. He is seen to be the only person who would defend India against any kind of crisis or a challenge coming from within or outside. I think that image building by BJP, I mean, BJP's entire campaign veered around Modi's leadership, Modi's name, Modi's guarantees. Everywhere it was Modi, Modi, and Modi. I think that strategy has paid off. And against that opposition's failure, and it's a structural failure of the opposition that they could not have projected any particular face or a leader as alternative to Modi. So I think people's confusion with respect to who else if not Modi. I think opposition could not answer this question convincingly that okay, we are ready to vote not for BJP but for any other party, but who would be replacing Modi? Please give us a name or a face. Opposition couldn't do that, and I think now it is very clear that Indian people want a very clear, credible leader and his face before they ditch any existing uh, political leader or a party for or in preference to a new party. Mr. Verma.
So PM Modi is likely to become the only Congress Prime Minister to lead the country for third consecutive time if these exit poll results predictions are true. How important a milestone is it for Prime Minister and for BJP as a national party?
Yes, if he gets the same majority that is predicted today on 4th of June, that would indeed be a historic victory. Historic because after Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, And those times were different. Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru had the benefit of a massive Congress organization, national movement, and so many other factors that existed in the 1950s and 60s. After that, Indian politics has fragmented. Now, in this fragmented condition of Indian politics, to win two consecutive elections with huge margin, and also the third one, as it seems today from the exit polls, would be historic because he would be equaling Jawaharlal Nehru in terms of third consecutive victory in Lok Sabha polls. Even Prime Minister Indira Gandhi could not win the third time. She had to take a break during the emergency and then again return. And also with this huge majority, it's a huge majority because Indian politics is so fragmented that winning anything about 300 is indeed a big achievement for any party or a leader. So he would really go down as a game changer in Indian politics. And it is only because of him that the game of Indian politics changed. Because of his personality, people may like it, people may not like it. That is perfectly fine. We may have disagreements with his ideology, with his utterances, with his personality, with his approach, everything. But he has his fingers on the pulse of the people, the common people of India, if not necessarily the elites of India or the opinion makers in India. So I do agree that it would be indeed a very historical, path-breaking achievement if exit poll results turn out to be true on 4th of June.
So
Over to you.
BJP and BJP and NDA is likely to do better in than expected in both Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and become the major force in Telangana. BJP is also retaining Karnataka as
Yes.
per exit polls. Do you think the debate over BJP not being present in South is finally over?
It should get over because Karnataka, despite losing the state assembly elections last year, as per exit polls, BJP is doing very well. I mean, winning nearly 22 to 23, 24 seats. And Congress thus being reduced to a single digit there, despite having a government. So Karnataka was a done deal earlier. Tamil Nadu and Kerala exit polls show that BJP is going to make its entry, made an entry in Kerala for the first time after independence. And it is, I think, the beginning of a long-term political project of the BJP because RSS and BJP were seen to be North Indian and West Indian political dispensations. Somehow, it was always argued that Hindutva will never have any appeal on the people of South India. Now, this would be broken. BJP always had 7 to 8% vote share in Kerala. And if the story continues, I think times are not far where, like in West Bengal, where BJP replaced the left parties, possibly in Kerala, maybe 5 years or 10 years down the line, we might see eclipse of the left in Kerala and BJP taking the support of the same social constituencies which left represents in Kerala. This might appear contradictory, but it has already happened in West Bengal, where entire left support base shifted to the BJP. Mr. Verma.
Sir, the exit polls also show that BJP is retaining states like Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh. But there are minor losses in Bihar, Rajasthan, maybe Haryana also. So why is it that India Alliance has not been able to capitalize on its gains in the other states?
Yeah, so let me say Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat are like strong Hindutva hubs now. No other appeal works. And at least Uttar Pradesh has been backed by the strong leadership, the powerful leadership, and popular leadership of Yogi Adityanath. So it was expected. But at the same time, let me say, because let us wait for 4th of June, at ground level, SP Congress alliance in Uttar Pradesh did well at the time of campaigning. And the ground level reports also from several journalists suggested that Uttar Pradesh won't be as easy a state for BJP as it was in 2014 and 19. But exit polls show, of course, a different picture. Of course, Bihar, uh, they are still retaining the majority seats as per the exit poll. But I think the popularity of Nitish Kumar is down, and Tejasvi has cut a lot of ice with the young Biharis, but too early to say. I think post-election, I don't see Nitish Kumar continuing very long as a chief minister, because for BJP it is now time to dump Nitish Kumar and assume center stage as the main political party of BJP of Bihar. But let's wait and see.
So, at the end of this conversation, I want to ask you, how much can we rely on these exit polls?
Well, as an academician, particularly with respect to the methodological aspects, there are always doubts. Say, exit polls emerge out of selection of sample that the agency makes. Now, the size of the sample also matters. See how many people you talk to. Secondly, whether the people you talk to, was that sample representative enough of the larger set of the population? These doubts always remain. And thirdly, the type of questions that you ask. Many a time it happens that the respondent may not tell the truth. So, there are, if somebody comes and asks me, who did you vote for, I may be little bit ambiguous. I may just give a here and there kind of an answer. So there is always a margin of error, you see, in this kind of sampling exercises on which exit polls are based, and that margin of error can actually result into a big fault when the contest is very close. Let us say in a state like Gujarat, even if the margin of error is 5%, it won't make much difference. If I predicted that BJP will win, even if my sampling has a 5% error, it won't make much difference. But in situations where election is closely contested, see, where both the parties are nearly equal, this margin of error can cause a major drawback with respect to your predictions. And earlier, in case of West Bengal elections of 2021, or even Bihar elections of 2015 and 2020, or even Delhi Vidhan Sabha elections, both the times AAP won, it was not predicted that AAP could take such a sweeping kind of a victory. So there have been many cases where, or even in 2004 Lok Sabha elections, which were fought after or under the leadership of Atal Bihari Vajpayee by NDA. Everybody said that NDA is going to win in 2004, but it turned out to be wrong. So there is always a possibility. One should take exit polls with bit of the pinch of salt. But this time around, let me say, except the CSDS survey, which gives very conservative estimate of around 270 to 280 seats, majority for India, most other exit polls that have been declared since this evening, they give BJP anything 340 to 370 seats. So all of them cannot be wrong, Abhi. All the samples cannot be wrong. So we should not at this juncture completely reject the predictions that the exit polls have made, but with this disclaimer that there is always a margin of error.
Thank you for talking to the Federal, Dr. Dholakia. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.